Welcome. You're listening to The Aligned Self, Conversations in Creating a Conscious and Abundant Life. This is Daniel Denovi. I'll be your guide and host. Let's see just where we can take this. Hello, friend, and welcome back to the conversation. As you may know, I've been talking a lot about manifesting. I have a small group coaching program that is launching on July 5th called BE A BADASS Manifestor. The way I'm using badass, it means in the context of being accomplished, assertive, running from inner signals. A badass radiates self-confidence, self-assuredness, not cowering from criticism or giving in to other people's agendas. It's taking on the role of a creator of reality. If I want it, I can have it. If I want it, I will attract it. It's coming from that sense of confidence, and it's moving from being a hobbyist manifester to making it an intrinsic part of your everyday thinking and expression. So, let me ask you, are you confident in your ability to manifest your desires? Are you confident in your skill level to create your intentions, manifest your intentions in a physical form? Attract the money, attract the circumstances, attract the relationships, the life that you desire? I assure you that at the end of this coaching program, you will have all that. I assure you, at the end of this 5 weeks, put yourself in the program. At the end of 30 days, if you don't like the way it's going, if you don't feel like there's been a tremendous shift in your life, then just tell me, I want my money back, and I'll send it. That's the no-risk guarantee. But it's my intention in putting this together that you get a 10x or a 100x return on your investment. Over the years, these techniques and principles have added hundreds of thousands of dollars to my pocket. And I can directly attribute a single payday of $125,000. A single payday. I don't necessarily like to talk about money around this, but it translates to the bottom line, don't you think? Because manifesting is so much more than just about the money. It's about the lifestyle, the relationship, the events, the circumstances, the energy, the vibe. That's what it's all about. It's about the quality of life that you'll have moving forward. So to me, the decision's quite clear. Go to yesdaniel.com, click the link, get involved. Join the others that have already stepped up to be a participant in the Nexus membership and the coaching program Being a Badass Manifestor. There is tremendous upside and no downside. Again, go to yesdaniel.com. Now that that is out of the way, let's talk about today's episode. We're adding to our body of work, our body of distinctions about manifesting. Especially if you've been listening to the last 3 or 4 episodes where I've been focusing on the different attributes of manifesting. One of those is being very clear about what you want. But while clarity and specificity is really important by and large, it's not necessarily required, but it does expedite things. Sometimes being too specific, being too directed, too intentional about what you want, it gets in the way. And I'll talk about why in just a moment. What's also important about this assessment is having sensory acuity, being able to check in on where are you sitting, which side of the fence are you leaning when you're either being very specific or very general. How do you know when to be really specific, really intentional, and when do you let up on that? When do you release being very specific and get really general? At the heart of this assessment is checking in with your feelings. Do you feel resistance when you get really specific, really intentional, really accurate about the things that you want? Because sometimes, even though we really want it, we have limiting beliefs that are in the way. Ideas and resistance that just a narrative, a story that gets in the way of us fulfilling on it. It doesn't seem as real, doesn't seem as probable. And anytime that we state the specific of what we're creating, there's a little voice in our head that says BS. And that disagreement comes from an internal part, another part of us that has a different set of beliefs, a different sub-personality, which we get into deeper in the coaching program. But for the sake of this episode, you just check in, and if you feel the resistance to an intention or getting too clear about something, it's best to set that idea aside and focus on how you feel, focus on your vibration. Because as you create an intention, if it doesn't feel like a hell yes, if it doesn't feel exciting, if it doesn't feel like it's right on the precipice, right around the corner, on its way, coming to you now, if you don't feel like a magnet drawing it to you, then you may want to shift your attention. It's coming to you anyways. Law of attraction is always working. But we want to make sure that we're not focusing on something that is bringing up a lot of resistance. When you're really specific, when you're focusing in wholeheartedly on one specific outcome and you feel resistance, we'll shift that. We'll put that aside, put it on the side burner. It's still there. Law of attraction is still working on it, but we want to shift our vibration. We want to start focusing on those aspects of our life that are working, that we feel really good about. Let's say that your resistance is around money, just for an aside, just for a supposing. And you have no problem in your relationships. In fact, you feel really good about the love and happiness in your life. Or let's say that's not it, and it's your ability to work out at the gym, or your career, your job. You really love your job. You're really good at it. You can focus on that. What do you love and appreciate about your job? Or your pets, or whatever aspect of your life, and you know what it is. What is available to you in your life that you have no resistance about? It is like fact in your life. I'm happy about this. I enjoy this. I love this about my life. That is where you want to focus your attention. That's where you want to list out those things you love and appreciate about those aspects of your life. Now, in the program, we talk about how to identify and eliminate those limiting beliefs, how to change it, and actually upgrade your experience of being very focused, being very specific. But in the context of this episode, this podcast episode, if you're really specific and you feel really good about it, you get excited about it, then stay on that line of thinking, take route A. But if you feel resistance, if you feel any doubt that comes up when you're really specific, it doesn't feel quite as real, then take route B. And that is to focus on your feelings, those aspects of your life that you feel really good about. I think that's fairly clear on which route to go. Where are you feeling? And a lot of people say, if I don't focus on my intention, then the universe won't hear it. They hear it right away. The universe, in many ways, knew already. Before you even spoke the words, before you even intended to put it out into the ether, it already knew. There are aspects of your consciousness that were already bringing that to you. And becoming more focused, becoming more articulate about those aspects, that intention about what you want to draw in, adds even more fuel to it. But I have to admit, becoming more articulate, becoming more specific, actually identifying the limiting beliefs, can sometimes seem like more work, more of a chore. The only thing is, those limiting beliefs come up again and again, no matter what you try and manifest. And so it could be said that route B, where you just focus on those aspects of your life that really work, that you're really invested in, that feel love and joy around, that is the lazy man's way or the lazy person's way to manifest. Because all you have to do is focus on feeling good. And so the only thing that you're focusing on is creating joy, creating satisfaction, engaging in those activities where you have a sense of freedom, a sense of excitement about. That's living a high vibe life. Ideally, you want to arrive at those feelings being unreasonable, unconditional, meaning that you can generate joy, you can generate excitement, you can generate focused freedom, clarity, satisfaction, just because you want it, just because you decided without reason. There's no good reason why you feel that way. You just decided, and that's what your focus is, and that's how you're going to show up. But in the absence of having that skill set in place, you can just focus on the activities, focus on those attributes that are currently in your life that create that feeling, draw that feeling out of you. You kind of use those as a crutch. There are ways to actually run your brain, move your body, focus your mind, to generate those high vibe feelings, to create those feelings on a regular basis, actually condition them in your way of being from day to day. Because I don't know if you know this, if you make an assessment on at any given moment, how do you feel? Do you feel joy? Do you feel intrinsically happy? Do you feel just so-so? Do you feel a little stressed? Whichever side of the fence you're leaning on, that is basically your conditioned response, your conditioned way of being. You've trained your body to be this way day in, day out. Only you can really check in on where you're sitting. Now, inside my membership, I have a 3-hour workshop on creating the high vibe life. And it's a series of techniques and exercises and methodologies to put in place to actually condition yourself, raise your baseline to where your normal state of being is in joy and happiness. Now, for the average person, that might not seem realistic. There's always downs, there's always ups and downs, isn't there? Well, there doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be as varied. Your mood swings don't have to move as widely as they currently do. You can actually narrow the range, move to the point where you live in the range of joy, happiness, contentment, satisfaction. And if you live in or step into anger, depression, ambivalence, dissatisfaction, those states start to feel really uncomfortable, feel unnatural, and you'll start to move back to that range of feeling satisfied and content and happy. Now, some people call this toxic positivity, but you can orient your mind to where you see the positive. It's not that you don't acknowledge the mucky-muck feelings. In fact, I encourage you to acknowledge them, but not hang out in them, not, wallow in them. You release them. You acknowledge them and you release them. You bring your attention back to your want to be. Well, in reference to this episode, how do you know that you're focusing on something that you have a lot of doubt on? Well, how often do you read your script? How often do you declare your intention? Do you do it every day? Or do you do it just for a set period of time, generate the momentum, generate the feelings, and then release it? See, if you're doing it on a regular basis, just in case the universe didn't hear, in case they forgot, that is fear and doubt. If you're concerned about how fast is it coming, if it ever is going to come, that is leaning towards the direction of fear and doubt. You would be better served focusing on those things that you love and appreciate, actually recounting on a daily basis. Take part in my extreme gratitude process, focusing on those things that you love and appreciate and in a very intense way. But you don't have to go to that. But you don't have to go to that extreme. You can simply focus on those 3 to 5 items that you love and appreciate about your life, about your circumstances each and every day, where you really feel it. You're not just saying the words. You're actually calling up the emotions, calling up the state in your being of joy and appreciation. You know when you're just doing drill work, when you're just saying the words, you're just not completely involved in it. You're pacifying, you're doing the exercise to get it done. If it's going to do you any good, if gratitude is going to be any power to you at all, you want to be fully associated to it. Actually, think about it as falling in love. When we fall in love, we edify the other person. We look at all their positive attributes. We minimize any negative attributes that they might be showing us. In fact, that doesn't mean anything to me. And we focus only on those attributes that we love and appreciate, and it amplifies their experience. We actually appreciate their value. We raise the value of their presence in our life based on our focus. That's what you want gratitude to be. Identify and focus on those attributes. Edify those characteristics of the things that are in your life, the people are in your life, the pets in your life, the circumstances that are in your life that you love and appreciate, and say exactly why. I love and appreciate this because, and you list an evidence procedure. That adds even more conviction, more juice, more volume, more depth and breadth to your emotional reservoir in that expression of joy and love, raising your vibration. So as we come to the end here, I'll give you the cliff notes. If you create an intention, you're really specific, but you have a feeling of dread, a feeling of like, oh, it's not going to work, or any doubt that's there, or it might not happen, or any fear that comes up, then switch to plan B. Go the route of focusing on those things that you love and appreciate about your life that are currently there. Consider them to be low-hanging fruit, those things that you can easily pick, easily identify. It's a slam dunk. Ideally, to be a real powerful manifester, you can do both. Get really focused and then start loving and appreciating those aspects of it, getting really clear, actually creating desire around your intention, creating excitement. You can generate excitement around that, to the point where you think about your intentions and it excites you, it juices you up, it makes anything and everything possible. So that's the 2 ways to focus your vibration. Until next time, this is your friend and host, Daniel Denovi, urging you to follow your bliss. Live your life from inner signals. Be inner directed as you engage in the epic adventure.